beautiful people, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome, and if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. It's great to have you in my little corner of YouTube where we speak all things adulting, faith, and lifestyle. Before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button. That red button must turn gray. Give this video a massive thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Comment down below what you enjoyed about today's video and what other videos you'd like to see. Share this with anybody and everybody who you think might need it, and last but not least, hit those notification bells so that you do not miss another video. So without wasting any more time, let us get straight into today's video. Today's video is all about the do's and don'ts of corporate. Let me take these off because there's probably a glare. So if I'm squinting, it means I can't see. But today's video is all about the do's and don'ts of corporate, and with just under 2 years of corporate experience, I can gladly say, okay, maybe not gladly, but I can say that corporate South Africa is a difficult place to navigate. Listen, I think I would have found my feet a bit better had I been in a position where I had someone to warn me about some of these things. Yes, my older siblings had, given me a glimpse into it, but nobody actually sat down and said, Rory, do this and don't do this. And I think it would have been so much easier to find my feet had I had someone to give me those tips to do and to don't. So essentially that's what I'm here to do. Just bear in mind, I am not an expert. I am not a career expert. I am not a friend with HR people. This is purely from my experience, and these are things that I wish I knew before starting corporate. Some of the things that I wish I should have done way earlier, and things that I wish I didn't do. I don't think I've done a lot of things that I shouldn't do, but nonetheless, I digress. So let's get straight into the don'ts. I think let's start with the bad news and then get into the lighter stuff. So the first don't to survive corporate South Africa is to not share your social media handles. Yes, there are exception cases, but you need to kind of give it some time to get to know your people. Don't just be quick to say, here's my IG, because number one, if those people don't know you well enough, they're really going to judge you on what your social media looks like. And also then the lines become blurred between your professional and your personal life. I have probably only 2 of my colleagues on social media, and that is because those are my work besties. They go beyond friends, I'll touch more on the friends part a bit later, but your colleagues are not your friends. Don't share your social media handle. There's no need to do it. LinkedIn is more than enough. If not, you guys can kiki there by the coffee station, but you guys do not need to be on each other's LinkedIn, on each other's Instagrams and Twitters. Let's not do that. Let's just not do that. The second don't to survive corporate South Africa is to stay away from gossip. You do not want your words being twisted, or you being present, even if you're not contributing to a conversation, you being present in that conversation to be taken the wrong way. It's a dog-eat-dog world out here. And anything you say can be twisted so quickly when things go south. So do not entertain the gossip. Even if your work bestie comes to you and says, hey friend, be like, catch you later. Catch you later. You do not want to find yourself or your brand or your reputation being jeopardized just because you engaged in the wrong conversation with the wrong people and things went south. We do not want that. The third don't when it comes to surviving corporate South Africa is to not use any of your work assets for personal use. I struggle with this quite a lot because my work laptop is always open, right? So it's easy to just, during a brain break, quickly just type something personal on the side. But it is definitely difficult to keep those things apart. But keep your work stuff as your work stuff. When you close your work laptop, open your personal laptop and use that then for your personal stuff. And if you don't have a laptop, start saving up for one that you can use for your personal things, because IT can run a check on your laptop right now and they can see that you are on YouTube, you were online shopping, this is why you're not performing, Rori, you know what I mean? So just make sure that you try and keep those separate. And if you've got a work phone, same goes for that. Keep your work phone separate to your personal phone. I personally have struggled with that because I don't have a work phone, so all my colleagues are on my personal phone. Nonetheless, I'll talk about that a bit later. But just try and keep things separate. Don't blur the lines. If it's a work laptop, keep it as a work laptop. If it's a work printer, keep it as a work printer. You don't want IT to come across your machine later and be like, you were on Netflix at 2 a.m. and you're supposed to be out of office. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. The fourth don't when it comes to surviving corporate South Africa is to not focus on titles. At the end of the day, we all bleed the same blood, regardless of whether you're at the top of the food chain or at the bottom of the food chain. Your voice still matters. You do deserve a seat at the table. So do not be so fixated on, oh, she's a partner, I can't say this, or I can't do this. Listen, we all bleed the same blood at the end of the day. The fifth don't when it comes to surviving corporate South Africa is don't be scared to say no. Now, this is something that I probably only started implementing about a month ago. Yes, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I have been in corporate South Africa for just under 2 years, but I only started, incorporating this into my life about a month ago, because I found myself saying yes to everyone. I really do struggle with people pleasing, and that is something I am actively working on, and saying no does become very difficult, right? So I had to start learning how to say no, because I found myself only sleeping 4-hour days. And if you can't say no when this manager and that partner and that person says, please can you help with A, B, and C, you're going to find yourself working on weekends. You're going to find yourself working until 2 a.m. You guys have seen some of my vlogs. And yes, sometimes it's absolutely necessary. There are deadlines to be chased. But if you say no, mean it. And you won't find yourself doing that as often as I was, or more often than you need to. So learn to say no. Don't be afraid to say no. There's nothing they can do. As long as it is outside of your job description, say no. The last don't that I want to focus on, which helps you survive corporate South Africa, is to not stretch yourself beyond what you have capacity for. If you know you have 4 things on your plate and something really cool comes up, maybe it's a thought leadership or something, an event that really fascinates you, but you don't have the capacity for it, don't stretch yourself beyond that. Because you will find yourself working overtime, and a lot of projects might not even let you book for that overtime. So you'll be working overtime and volunteering your time, your energy, your everything to a company, because you don't know how to only work within what you have the capacity to. And once again, this is something I'm still learning, and I have started now the process of having conversations with the people who have originally delegated some things to me, and I am trying to then now take those, divide and conquer with the rest of my team members, because I found myself finding so many things interesting and saying, yes, I want to do that. I want to work on that deck. I want to work on that proposal. I want to work on the team meeting. I was doing a lot. I am still doing a lot, but we're working on it. So I stretched myself beyond the capacity that I had, and I found myself burning out earlier on this year, and nothing was cute. This company will replace you tomorrow if you pass away today. They are always actively recruiting. There is someone in the pipelines. The second you drop dead, the next person is getting their contract. So don't stretch yourself more than you can. You know your limits as a person. If you're someone who can juggle 6 things at a time, great, good for you. But don't push yourself beyond those 6 things. So those are the don'ts. The list is endless. Like I said, I am not an expert. These are the most important ones. There are more, but if I talk about all of them, we're going to sit here for hours. So let us move over to the do's to help you survive corporate South Africa. The first do is do have a paper trail. Have everything in writing. Like I said earlier, it's a dog-eat-dog world out here. If you don't have it in writing, it doesn't exist. If you don't have it in writing, it's in your imagination. Then you find yourself in a he said, she said situation. When things go down, when things go south, you find yourself in trouble because there was no paper trail. If you had the conversation on a video call, record the video call. If your partner called you and you guys had a full-on conversation, hi so-and-so partner, as per our telephonic conversation, because you do not want things to go south with your name in there. Things can go south, but let it not involve you. The second do to surviving corporate South Africa is to be on top of things. Do be on top of things. I know my grammar is disgusting, but you guys get the gist. Be on top of things. Be organized. Make sure that you are on top of everything. Make sure you're filing properly. Make sure you put your best foot forward, because you need to build that brand for yourself. It makes you look good. And if you look good, you're winning. Because corporate South Africa isn't just about your performance. It's a perceptions game. If they like the brand that you've built for yourself, you are already 10 steps ahead of where you need to be. So build a brand that shows that you have this handled, you are in control, you are on top of everything. Listen, that's all I'm gonna say. Because corporate South Africa is a perceptions game. And if you're not on top of everything, nothing is gonna be cute. Nothing is gonna be cute. The third do, my grammar once again, but do be punctual. Always be punctual. Always be on time or earlier. And you do not want to be late. I have a colleague who is always 2 minutes late for our morning stand-ups. And I'm just sitting here like, ma'am, now we know that you're always late, and that doesn't look good. Like, being late, it's not a good brand. Personally, I do not subscribe to being late. And if you know you're going to be late, send a text to say, listen, I'm stuck in traffic for A, B, and C reason. There was an unexpected accident because, listen, don't be late. Guys, don't be late. I'm asking you so nicely. Be at least 10 minutes early. If you guys know that you get to the office at 8 o'clock, get to the office at 7:45 or 10 to 8. Make some coffee, settle down, and then get your day started. Don't be now, you don't know what's going on because you were late. The fourth do when it comes to surviving corporate South Africa is to set boundaries. Do set boundaries. Like I said earlier, you don't want to find yourself working overtime. You don't want to find yourself working to a point of burnout because you didn't set boundaries. For example, I switch my phone on Do Not Disturb every evening from 6 p.m. You can't find me at 6 p.m. unless if you're on my emergency list, so mom and dad and my brother. You can't find me. You can't find me. My work colleagues, my bosses, they know. Listen, Rori will not answer your calls after 6 o'clock. More so on a weekend, she will look at it. She will look at the phone ring, legit. She does not care. If it's burning, let it burn without her, because we're not doing that. We are not doing that. I could still be working until 10, 11 p.m., but my phone, you can't reach me after 6 o'clock. That is the boundary I set for myself. My colleagues know, work bestie even knows, don't text me after 6. Like, it's not gonna happen. You're not gonna find me. I will respond at 8 o'clock the next morning. Don't do it. Don't do it. Set those boundaries. It helps you maintain your sanity, because corporate South Africa can really test your sanity. That's a story for another day. That is a story and a conversation for another day. Corporate South Africa can test your sanity. It will drive you insane. Trust me, I know. And I've only been there for less than 2 years. So you guys who have been there for 10, 20 years, I don't know how you guys are doing it. But listen, corporate South Africa can be very toxic. And if you don't set those boundaries, you are going to find yourself miserable, exhausted 24/7, and we don't want that. Sorry, I know this is off topic, but I know that as young professionals, there's this expectation that you're not married, you live alone, you don't have a kid, you can clearly immerse yourself in your work. And I have found it very difficult to find my identity outside of work. When you ask me who I am, hi, I'm Rorisang Mabogoane, I am a strategy consultant. What am I outside of my work? And if I don't set those boundaries, I won't be able to discover myself as myself outside of what my work is. So make sure to set boundaries. That is a pep talk. Thanks. Welcome. Thank you for coming to my pep talk, guys. Thanks. Number 5 on the do's list is to do your job. Point blank. You have a job description. You sign the contract. Go do your job. Do your job and do it well, and give your all into everything that you do when it comes to your job. Goes back to your branding. Do your job to your best so that they know that when I give Rori a task, impeccable quality. Do your job well. Do it to the fullest. Listen. do it to the fullest. So just keep that in mind. You want to be that girl or that guy who delivers quality with everything that they're tasked to do. The last do of corporate South Africa, or of surviving corporate South Africa, is do take advantage of the perks and the benefits that your firm offers. So with me, I take advantage of the online learnings. I take advantage of, the networks that you can, plug into, the financial advice. I have a financial advisor at work, or rather a financial coach, let me say. So small things like that, take advantage of them, because in the outside world, you'd have to pay for services like that. Some companies have partnerships with Kauai and stuff, and Starbucks and all of that stuff. Take advantage of that stuff, because number one, the cost of living is expensive, but number two, it's there. Why not? Use it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Do share your do's and don'ts in the comment section. The things that I did not mention, or if you want to expand on some of the points that I mentioned. Like I mentioned, I am not an expert. I am purely speaking from my own experience on things that I have learned in my just under 2 years of surviving corporate South Africa. So with that, we've reached the end of today's video. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and share this with anybody and everybody who you think might need it. And with that, with so much love and so much light from me to you, have an amazing rest of the day. Stay safe and God bless. Bye, guys.